Hello everyone, thank you for your time to given to me. My name is Aldo Mete, and now I will teach you about simple present. So, why do you have to master the simple present? Because the simple present is the basic tense that you master if you want to be professional in English. Okay, let's go straight to the example. I buy a pen. He buys a pen. From these two sentences, you notice anything different? Yup, there is the letter S after the word buy in the sentence. He buys a pen. Why is that? Because the subject of the sentence is he. So we add S after the verb if the subject is she, he, and it. And don't forget, we also add verbs ending in ES. Two verbs ending in SS, CH, SH, X, and O. For example, he goes to school. Next, we go to negative part of the sentence. I don't buy a pen. He doesn't buy a pen. When the subject is she, he, and it, we use doesn't or does not. The notice after the word by we don't add the s ending but return to the verb one form. The sentence become he doesn't buy a pen. Next, we go to the when should we use the simple present. Number one, to express the routine of something or activity that is done repeatedly. The time markers of the sentence are always, seldom, sometimes, every day, every week, every afternoon. For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock every day. And the next sample, my father goes to the office every day at 6 o'clock. Number two is used to state the true facts that are recognized by everyone. For example, fire is hot. Next example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Number three is used for a common or variation sentence. For example, close the door, open the window, be careful. Number four, used to talk about plans or solutions in the future, but has a time frame close to now. For example, the party starts soon. The second, train arrive this night at 7 o'clock. To make you understand, I will give you a problem. Try to analyze the sentence. Where is the mistake? We goes with my brother. The sentence is incorrect. Why? After the word go followed by the word es. Remember, es is only added if the subject is she, he, and it. The sentence that should be correct is we go with my brother. The second sentence, he doesn't bring the books, is not quick right. In which part? Yup, there is the word brings after the word doesn't. Remember, if it already has the word doesn't or does not, then what follows is verb 1. So there is not need to add s or es. The sentence should be he doesn't bring the book. The third sentence, she watch a movie. The third sentence, she watched a movie, which are not correct. Yaps, if the first end in ch, then it should add es. The correct sentence should be add es. The correct sentence should be she watches a movie. So that's all about simple present. So we next to the next lesson. Okay, next lesson we are studying about present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is used to talk about action happening right now at the moment of speaking. In simple terms, it describes what someone is doing now. For example, I'm studying. She's singing. They are playing basketball. There are actions that are in progress at this moment. The structure of the formula of present continuous is subject plus to be plus verb ing. I use I am, you we they use are, she he it use is, and for example, I'm reading, you are working, he is sleeping. Remember, always use the ing form of the verb, like sing, be singing, smile, be smiling, dance, be dancing. For the negative form, to make negative sentence, add not after the verb to be. For example, I'm not working, she's not singing, they are not studying. You can also use the contraction. Is not be isn't, are not be aren't, I'm not be I'm not, or not contraction. For the interrogative form or question, to ask question in present continuous, the to be verb at the beginning. For example, are you studying? Is he walking? Am I doing it right? Is your mother sleeping? They are called yes or no question that can be answered with yes or no. For the time signal, we often use time expression with the present continuous to show that the action is happening now. Common time signals include now, right now, at the moment, nowadays, this morning, afternoon, night, evening, today, tonight. For example, I'm studying now. They are playing basketball this afternoon. She's working right now. In conclusion, use am, I, is, are plus verb ing. Use it for action happening now and not for negative sentence. Begin with am, begin with am, is, are. To ask question, use time signal like now, today, and this evening. To be more specific, and that's the present continuous tense. To be more specific, and that's the present continuous tense. Okay, I will give you some exercise and I will explain that. So the first exercise, choose the correct sentence. A. She is playing guitar now. B. She plays guitar now. C. She is playing guitar now. D. She playing guitar now. So what the answer? The answer is C. She is playing guitar now. Use is with C and the verb must be ing from playing. Also now, so it's happening at the moment. Okay, question number 2. Which sentence is the present continuous tense? Number A. They go to school every day. B. They are going to school now. C. They went to school yesterday. D. They will go to school tomorrow. What's the answer? Yes, it's B. They are going to school now. Why? Because are plus going and the word now clearly show an action happening right now. Exercise number 3. Complete the sentence. I blah 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 watch TV right now. What the answer? The answer is I'm watching. Subject I use am and watch becomes watching. I'm watching TV right now. And question number 4. Complete the sentence with the correct form. They blah 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 not or study at the moment. What the answer? The answer are not study. They use are and not for negative. They use are and not for negative. Then the verb becomes studying. They are not studying. And the last question, make a question from the sentence. She is cooking dinner right now. She is cooking dinner now. Yeah. The answer is she is cooking dinner now. For yes or no question, move the to be verb. For yes or no question, move to be verb before the subject. So that's all about present continuous tense. Maybe we could so that's all about present perfect continuous tense. So that's all about present continuous tense, and we're going to next lesson. Okay. Okay, now we are going to learn about past tense. Simple past is used to talk about action or event that happened and finished in the past. For example, I watched a movie yesterday. She visited her grandmother last week. Common time expression: yesterday, last night, 2 days ago, and 2020, and in 2020. For the positive sentence, for the formula is subject plus verb to plus object or information. There are two types of verbs. Number 1, regular verbs. Just add ed. For example, walk, be walked. Play, be played. Number 2 is irregular verbs. Is change the form. For example, go, be when, eat, be at, have, be had. For example, they played football yesterday. I ate fried rice this morning. For the negative sentence, the formula is subject plus did not or didn't plus best verb or verb 1. For your information, use the best form of the verb. Use the best form of the verb 1 after did not. For example, she did not go to school yesterday. I didn't watch TV last night. And for question sentence, the formula is did plus subject plus bus verb 1. For example, did you go to the market yesterday? Did he eat the cake last night? In the first short answers, you can answer yes, I did. No, I did. And for negative answer, you can say no, I didn't. And how to using to be or was and where when you don't use an action verb but want to describe a condition or situation, use was or where. For the structure, subject plus was or where plus complement. Use was when the subject is he, she, I, and it. And use where when the subject is you, we, they. For example, I was at home yesterday. They were happy after the show. For the negative form, he wasn't sick. We weren't late. And the fourth question, was she tired? Was she tired? Were you at the party? Okay, I will give you some exercise and I will explain. So, she blah 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 to beach last Sunday. A goes, B when, C going, D go. What the answer? The answer is B. Why? Because last Sunday, so past tense. Why? Because last Sunday shows past time. Use verb to go and use verb to go is an irregular go. Use verb to go is an irregular verb. Go is when. So the answer is B. Okay, next question. My mother blah 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 cooked fried rice yesterday. So what the answer? Yeah, the answer is cook. Cook. Why? Because cook is a regular verb and add ed for past form. And the next question, we blah 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 no go to school because it's rain. What the answer? The answer is did not go because negative form did not plus the verb. Even if the verb is go, it stays as go after did not. So that's all about simple past tense, and thank you. We are going to next lesson. Okay, next we are going to talk about a very useful grammar topic, the past continuous tense. What is it? When do we use it? And how do we form it correctly? Let's learn together. Okay, the past continuous tense describes an action that was happening and at a specific moment in the past. This action usually starts before another past action, and it was still happening when the second action took place. For example, he was sleeping when his sister arrived. He started sleeping before his sister came, and he was still asleep when she got there. Now, let's look at how we form this tense. The formula is was or were plus verb ing. Here are the sentence types. For the positive sentence, subject plus was or were plus verb ing. For example, she was studying. They were watching TV. And for negative sentence, subject plus was or were plus not and plus verb ing. For example, she was not sleeping or they were not cooking. And for question form, use was or were plus subject plus verb ing. And for example, were you studying last night? Was he playing football? Is that a question form? Let's look at few examples to each form. And the positive sentence, I was buying hot chocolate at this time yesterday. They were frying seafood last night. And for negative sentence, I was not buying hot chocolate at this time yesterday. They were not frying seafood last night. And the third question, what was he doing at 9 a.m.? Were you discussing my birthday party last night? For the question, what was he doing at 9 a.m.? Were you discussing my party last night? And the past continuous tense is used for several purposes. The past continuous tense is used for several purposes. Number 1, to show an action that was in progress in the past. For example, I was sleeping at your dorm yesterday. Number 2, to describe an action that was interpreted by another action. For example, Ririn was washing the dishes when Rudy knocked. Ririn was already washing the dishes when Rudy arrived. We can also use simple past continuous to describe two actions happening at the same time in the past. For example, I was watching TV while he was eating ice cream. He was playing games while I was studying. These activities were happening simultaneously. Lastly, we can use past continuous to describe action that were developing slowly in the past. For example, the sun was rising in the east. The moon was showing in the night sky. The sentence describes natural processes that were unfolding over time. Alright friends, that's full explaining of the past continuous tense. Let's quickly review what we've learned. So I will give you some exercise. Number 1, choose the correct sentence. A. They was playing football at 4 p.m. B. They were playing football at 4 p.m. What the answer? Yes, the answer is B. Why? Because they use were, not was. So the correct sentence is they were playing football at 4 p.m. Number 2, find and correct the error. He were eating dinner when the lights went out. The corrected sentence, he was eating dinner when the lights went out. Why? He needs was or not were because it's singular. Okay, so that's all about past continuous tense. Okay, next we are going to learn about present perfect tense. So, what is that? How do we use it? And why is it so useful? So let's learn together. So, present perfect tense is a tense that connects the past and the present. We used to talk about action that happened in the past but still have results or importance now. It's also used to talk about life experience and recent events. The structure is simple have or has plus past participle or verb 3. For I, you, we, they, use have. For she, he, it, use has. For example, I have eaten. She has finished her homework. Don't forget, the verb must be in the third form, like eat, ate, eaten. And how to use present perfect tense. Let's talk about how to use present perfect tense in real life. Number 1, for past action would result now. I have lost my keys. I still can't find them. She has moved to Bali. She is still living there. Number 2, for life experience. For example, I visited Paris. He has never tried sushi. Remember, we don't mention specific time in this case. We don't say I visited Paris last year. That's wrong. Number 3, for reasons even. Use with words like just, already, and yet. For example, they've just arrived. I've already eaten. Have you eaten yet? And the for time expression. Some words are commonly used with present perfect. These are called time expression. Let's check them out. For example, just. I've just finished my homework. Already. She has already gone. Yet. Have you finished your task yet? Ever. Have you ever seen a ghost? Never. I've never been to Bali. Since. I've lived here since 2020. For. We've known each other for 10 years. For the tips, since for specific point in time. For duration of time. Common mistake. Now, be careful. One of the most common mistakes is using present perfect with a specific past time. The wrong sentence, I have seen that movie yesterday. The correct, I saw the movie yesterday. Use simple past. Remember, don't mix present perfect with words like yesterday, last week, or 2 days ago. Now, let's review. For the structure, have or has plus verb 3, used for recent action, life experience, university time, avoid specific past time. So, that's all, and I want to give you some exercise and we gonna explain together, okay? For the first question, they blah 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 visit Bali 3 times. What the answer? The answer is have visited. Why? Because subject they use have. The verb visit, past participle, is visited. In the positive sentence, formula have or has plus verb 3. They have visited Bali 3 times. And the question number 2, see blah 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 not finish her homework. What the answer? Has not finished it is the answer. Why? Because subject she is used has. And for negative form, add not after has. And the verb finish plus past participle is finished. So the answer is she has not finished her homework. And the question number 3, blah 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 you ever blah 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 see a shooting star? The answer? What the answer? Have you ever seen? The answer is have you ever seen? Why? Because question form have you comes before the subject, you be use have, verb see, past participle seen, use ever to talk about life experience. So the answer is have you ever seen a shooting star? So that's all about perfect tense. So we're going to next lesson. Okay, next lesson. Have you ever wondered how to talk about action that start in the past and are still ongoing now? Today, we will explore the present perfect continuous tense. So, what is the present perfect continuous tense? Present perfect continuous tense, it describes action that begin in the past and continue up to the present, often with a focus on duration. First, actions start before now and ongoing. For example, I have been studying English for 3 years. Number 2, recently finished action that have visible outcomes. For example, look, she has been painting. That's why her hands are colorful. Emphasize contrast with present perfect simple. Continuous, focus on duration or repetition. Simple, focus on complication or result. Simple, focus on completion or result. Next, form and structure. Subject plus have or has plus been plus verb ing plus complement. And there are alternative form. For the positive sentence, I have been working. She has been learning. For the negative form, I haven't been sleeping well. For the question form, have you been waiting long? Not third person has an co-creation forms like he's been trying. Now we are talking about time expression. First is for. Now we are talking about time expression. For plus period. For example, for 2 hours, for a long time. Next, since plus point. Since plus point in time. For example, since Monday, since 2024. Present time indicator. For example, lately, recently, all day. Next, stress how these clues help signal the use of the tense. Example and comparison. First, provide clear example with context. Number 2, I have been reading this book for 3 days. Number 3, they have been playing football since morning. Number 4, he has been practicing the guitar lately. Number 5, have you been sleeping well? Number 6, no, I haven't been getting enough rest. Number 7, show contrast. Common mistake when we are using present perfect tense. Using been incorrectly. I been studying is incorrect. It must I have been studying. Forgetting been in question, incorrect. Have you studying? It is incorrect. It must have you been studying? Omitting in the correct. Omitting in incorrect. She has been paying, incorrect. And the correct answer, she has been painting. So now I will give you some exercise and you must do complete, and after that I will explain. So the first question, she blah 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 study for her final exam since this morning. What the answer? Yep, has been studying. Why? Because the subject she takes has. The formula is has or have plus been plus verb in. So the correct sentence is she has been studying for her final exam since this morning. Number 2, choose the correct sentence. A, they have been playing football. B, they has been playing football. C, they have been playing football. D, they have playing football. So what the answer? The answer is C. They have been playing football. Why? Because subject they use have, not has. Been is required after have. The main verbs should be in ing form. Playing, so the correct sentence is they have been playing football. So that's all about present continuous tense. See you next lesson. Okay, next lesson we'll talk about past perfect tense. So what is past perfect tense? Past perfect tense explains its use when discussing an event that happened before another past event. So, expressed with had plus past participle. Now, we'll talk about core structure and function. For the formula, subject plus had plus past participle plus rest of sentence. For example, for the positive sentence, she had left before I arrived. For the negative sentence, they hadn't finished when class started. For the question sentence, had you already eaten when I called? For the empathize, the past perfect sets clear squeezing which action happened first. Okay, next, connecting to past simple. The first, contrast past perfect with simple past. For example, I had studied French before I moved to Paris. First action, studied. Use past perfect. Later action, moved. use simple past. Highlight why is essential. It prevents timeline confusion. Okay, now positive, negative, and interrogative forms. For the positive sentence, the formula is had plus past participle. For the negative sentence, hadn't or had not plus past participle. And the for question sentence, sweat, subject, and had, like had they arrived. So the instructor spell out each format with example sentence, reinforcing correct structure. Now next we'll learn the time express or time signal. So introduce common time markers that signal past perfect. They are already, just, by the time, before, after, and for example, by the time this show started, we had already bought tickets. And now we are comparing past perfect and past simple. So reminds learner, use past perfect to the earlier action. Use simple past for the later action. Example scenario. For example, after she had cleaned the house, she sat down. Her cleaning is past perfect. Sitting is simple past. Okay, common mistake and tips. Warning: the misses past perfect were simple past softness. The correct: I had finished my homework before dinner. Incorrect but common: I had gone to school yesterday. Okay, so that's all about simple past perfect. And now I will give you some exercise, and I will explain that. So the first question: when I arrive at the cinema, the movie blah blah blah. A. Has started. B. Had started. C. Started. D. Was starting. What the correct answer? The correct answer is B. Had started. Why? Because we use past perfect, had plus past participle. For the earlier action, or the movie had started, and simple past, the letter 1, I arrived. And the next question: see her homework before her mother got home. A. Finish it. B. Finish it. C. Finish his. D. Is finishing. What the answer? The correct answer is B. Had finished it. So why? Because her homework was done before her mother got home. So we use the past perfect to show the earlier action. So that's all about past perfect tense. Now we go next to listen. Okay, now we are learn about past perfect continuous tense. So what is past perfect continuous tense? This tense is used to describe an action that was happening for a period of time in the past before another event took place. It's especially useful when talking about duration and cause of past events. So structure and formula. The structure of the past perfect continuous is subject plus had been plus verb in. So this formula stays the same for all subjects, singular and plural. For example, I had been studying. They had been working all day. This tense is a combination of the past perfect or had plus the continuous aspect, or been plus verb in, or been plus verb in, and it implies that something was ongoing for a while before another past moment. So, main use of past perfect continuous. Number 1, to show an action that was in progress before another past action. For example, she had been sleeping before the alarm rang. This means that action of sleeping start before and continue until just before the alarm rang. Number 2, to emphasize the duration of past activity, use time expression like for and since. For example, they had been living there for 10 years before they moved out. This shows how long they were doing something before another event. Number 3, to show cause and effect. For example, he was tired because he had been running. This explains why he was tired, because of the running. Now, we'll talk about comparison with other tense. Past perfect continuous versus past perfect simple. Past perfect simple focus on completion. I had read the book before the exam. For the past perfect continuous focus on the process or time spent doing something. For example, I had been reading the book for 2 hours before the exam. Past perfect continuous versus present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous start in the past and still happening. Past perfect continuous start in the past and end before another past event. So we're next to common mistake and final tips. For the common mistake, forgetting to include been, using has or have instead of had, not adding in to the verb. For the tips, use time markers like for, since, before, by the time, and when. Practice by combining in with another past event to make the meaning clearly. Okay, so that's all about past perfect tense. Now I will give you some exercise and you must answer. After that I will explain that. So the first question, when I arrived at the station, Tom blah 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 wait for the more than an hour. What the answer? The answer is had been waiting. Why? Because Tom started waiting before I arrived and I continue for some time. Number 2, she was tired because she blah 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 worked all night. What the answer? The answer is had been working. Why? Because the cause of her tiredness was her continuous work. So that's all about past perfect continuous. We move to next lesson. Okay, next lesson is future tense. So what is future tense? Future tense is used to talk about action that happened yet and will take place in the future. So, the future tense expression prediction, spontaneous decision, and future fact. And the formula and structure using will for the positive sentence is subject plus will plus best verb. For the negative sentence, subject plus will not or won't plus best verb. For the question, will plus subject plus best verb. Using going to. Using going to show plain action or intention. The structure, subject plus to be plus best verb. The structure, subject plus to be going to plus best verb. Quick comparison. Will more natural, less curtain. Going to intention or pre-planned action. So for example, for the positive sentence, I will visit Bali next month. He's going to study tonight. For the negative sentence, I will not attend the meeting. She is not going to join us. For the question sentence, will you help me? Are you going to start a new project? Okay, now I will give you some exercise and after that I will explain. So complete the sentence. I think it blah 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 rain tomorrow. What the answer? Will rain. Why? Because we use will for prediction based on belief or assumption, not on correct evidence. Since I think shows a prediction, we use will. Okay, next question. Choose the correct sentence. A. She won't attend the party. B. She won't attend the party. C. She not will attend the party. What the answer? The answer is B. She won't attend the party. Why? Because in negative future tense, the structure is subject plus will not. Best verb. Attend is the best verb. Structure is subject plus won't plus best verb. Attend is the best verb. Attends is incorrect because will or won't is always followed by the past form of the verb. Okay, move to multiple choice. Going to or will. So look at the sky. It's dark. It blah 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 rain. It blah 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 rain soon. A. Will. B. Going to. C. Is going to. D. Are going to. So what the answer? The answer is going to. Why? Because we use going to for future event based on present evidence. It's dark is evidence, so we use it plus is going to plus best verb. Correct sentence is it is going to rain soon. So that's all about future tense. Now we move to next lesson. So next lesson we learn how to talk about ongoing action in the future. So define the future progressive tense. It's used for action that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. For the formula and structure, for explain will be plus verb in. Give a simple example. For example, at 8 p.m. tonight, I will be studying. Compare with other future forms, emphasize that it focuses on ongoing activity, not a decision or simple prediction. Okay, now time expression. So common time makers like at this time tomorrow, tonight at 6, this afternoon, and prophet example, this time next week, she will be traveling to Bali. Ongoing future action. If you call me at 6, I will be working. Emphasize that it indicates what's happening at the exact moment in progress. Number 2, polite and tentative question. Explain how to soften question or request. For example, will you be using laptop this afternoon? Number 3, parallel future action. Describe two actions happening at the same future time. For example, I will be cooking while he will be cleaning. So I will give you some question, and after that I will explain. So question number 1, at 9 p.m. tonight, I blah 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 watch a movie with my family. What the answer? Will be watching. Why? Because the sentence refers to an activity that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. We use the structure will plus be plus verb in. So, will be watching. Number 2, multiple choice. Question, this time next week, we blah 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 in Bali. Number A will stay, B are staying, C will be staying, D stayed. What the correct answer? The correct answer is C, will be staying. Why? Because this time next week refers to a specific moment in the future. So we use the future progressive tense, or will be staying. Number 3, true or false. Question, I will be goes to gym at 7 a.m. tomorrow. True or false? Question number 3, true or false. Question, I will go to the gym at 7 a.m. tomorrow. True or false? The answer, false. Why? Because I will be going to the gym at 7 a.m. tomorrow is the correct answer. Why? Because after will be, we must use the verb plus in form. Goes is incorrect. The correct form is going. Okay. Question number 4. Sentence formation. Make a sentence using she or he study. Using she or study at 10 p.m. tonight. Okay, the answer, She will be studying at 10 p.m. tonight. Why? Because we follow the rule will plus be plus verb in. This shows what she will be doing at a specific time in the future. So that's all about future progressive tense. We move to the next lesson. Okay, now our next lesson is future perfect tense. So what is future perfect tense? Future perfect tense is a verbal tense that expresses an action that will be complete before a specific time in the future. So the concept is about projecting completion into the future. For example, will have done. So next, structure or formula. Basic formula for this positive sentence: subject plus will plus have plus past participle or verb 3. And the negative sentence: subject plus will not or won't plus have plus verb 3. For the question sentence: will plus subject plus have plus verb 3 plus verb 3. For the time expression or complements, for the common signal, by the time, for example, by 8 p.m. By the time plus close, for example, by the time you arrive. Before plus close, for example, before she graduates. Specific time process, for example, next week, month, or year. Tomorrow morning. For example, for the positive sentence, I will have finished my homework by tomorrow. She will have cooked dinner by 7 p.m. For the negative sentence, they won't have left by the time you come. He will not have signed the contract before next month. For the question, will you have completed the project before Friday? Will she have arrived by 9 o'clock? Use and contrast. For the function, to indicate completion by future deadline or before another feature. Comparisons. Future simple: I will leave at 8 p.m. Action happen at the moment. Future perfect: I will have left by 8 p.m. Action finished before then. Visual tip: show timeless visual comparing simple versus perfect use. Okay, I will give you some exercise and after that I will explain. The first question: by the time you arrive, I blah 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 my homework. A. Will finish. B. Will have finished it. C. Have finished it. D. Had finished it. What the answer? The answer is B. Will have finished. Why? Because the parser by the time you arrive indicate that the action will already be complete before a future moment. use the future perfect form. Will have plus past participle. Number 2 is they blah 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 the meeting by 3 p.m. A will have start, B start, C started, D we're starting. What the answer? The answer is A. Will have started. Why? Because the time marker by 3 p.m. shows a specific point in the future. So the action starting the meeting will be complete before that time. Okay, next question. C blah 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 complete the report before the boss arrives. So what the question? So what the answer? The answer is will have complete. Why? Before the boss arrives, future time limit. So use future perfect. Will have plus complete. So that's all about future perfect tense. So we are moved to next lesson. Okay, next lesson we are talking about future perfect continuous tense. So what is the perfect continuous tense? Perfect continuous tense is used to talk about action that will have been happening for a certain period of time at a specific moment in the future. It emphasizes the duration of an action that starts before a future time and is still ongoing up to the point. For example, by next year, she will have been working here for 10 years. This means she started working in the past and will still be working until next year. Number 2, how do we form it? The structure of the future perfect continuous tense is subject plus will plus have plus been plus present participle or verb in. For example, will is the future auxiliary. Have been indicates the perfect continuous aspect and the verbs end in ing. For example, I will have been studying for 5 hours by 8 p.m. They will have been living in the city for a decade next month. Don't forget, we often use time expression like for 5 years, by the end of this week, or since 2020 to show the duration. Number 3, when do we use it? Therefore, there are 2 main situations we use the future perfect continuous. Number A, to emphasize duration before a specific point in the future. By the time, for example, by the time you arrive, I will have been waiting for 2 hours. B, to show that an action is ongoing and will continue into the future until a given time. For example, by 2020, Sinsley will have been researching this topic for over 10 years. The key point here is in the focus on time and continuity. Number 4, common time markers to help you. Use the tense properly. Here are some common time expressions. By the time, by, for, since. For example, by next Monday, she will have been training for the compression for 2 months. Next, by 10 p.m., they will have been driving all day. And the next, for the negative and question forms, to make a negative sentence, simply add not after will. He will not have been working there for long. Or use the conclusion, he won't have been working there for long. To make a question, invert the subject and will. Will she have been waiting long? How long will you have been studying English by next year? Okay, now practice with me. By next month, they blah 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 work on the new project for 6 months. What the answer? The answer is will have been working. So by next month they will have been working on the new project for 6 months. Try making your own sentence. This is the best way to get comfortable this tense. So in the conclusion, the future perfect continuous tense is all about expression the duration of ongoing action up to a future moment. It may seem completed at first, but with present and example, it becomes much easier. So that's all about future perfect continuous tense. We move to next lesson. The last lesson. The lesson is focused on model in English, auxiliary verbs, and then conventionality, possibility, permission, advice, and probability. They are essential for expressing attitudes and functional meanings beyond basic tense and voice. So, basic modal verbs overview. Common modals list can, could, must, should, will, would, might, plus had better. Can or could, ability and polite request. Can you clean the classroom? Could you explain that again? Is more polite. Must express strong necessity or obligation. For example, you must submit your assignment. For example, should use for normal advice or recommendation. For example, you should wear a blue one. It suits you. Had better stronger advice often with implied conclusion. You had better stay away from the dog, it bites. Expressing possibility and permission. My or might used for possibility or asking or giving permission. For example, may I go out tonight? Asking politely. It might rain later. Expressing uncurrently. Will or would prefers future action and request. For example, will you help me? I would like a cup of tea. Would Would you pass the salt? Modal like parsa or semi-modals. Be going to plain feature. For example, I'm going to study tonight. Be able to, ability in a specific context or after tense. For example, you will be able to swim after practice. She is able to play the violin. Use tips and comparison. Can versus could. Can, ability or informal request. Could, past ability or polite request. Must versus have to. Must, personal obligation. Have to, external requirement. Should versus had better. Should is soft advice. Had better, arrogant advice, consequence implied. For the conclusion and practice remind, use model to express permission, possibility, necessity, advice, and future intent, and notice model in real conversation or text, and with motivational note. Mystery models improve fluency and clarity English communication. Okay, I will give you some exercise. Model can, ability or permission. For the question, blah blah blah, you swim when you were 5 years old. The option is A, can, B, could, C, may, D, must. What the correct answer? The correct answer is B, could. Why? We use could to talk about past ability. The question asks if someone was able to swim at the age of 5, so the past form of can is needed could.